Alright guys, hey, what's going on? Sorry for the crazy long delay. I was trying to get some things accomplished before we started. That popped up suddenly. I'm gonna do real quick, just because it's been sitting here. The time of day has progressed slightly. Oh yeah, actually it hasn't. So we're taking off at sunrise. We're starting at X51, which is Homestead. We're gonna go ahead and take off over the Everglades. We're gonna look at a couple of airports out there, including a couple small gravel airport for the ranger station, and kind of end our day in San Marcos Island, which is a golf resort just south of Naples. And we'll just kind of see how that goes. And yeah, let's get started. All right, let's get this power going up. All right, plenty to fly. We're flying. Nice little sunrise flight. Good, get this. Not sure why, my audio is pretty glitchy. Let's see. If I can switch this over. Yeah. Oh man. Alright, we're glitching out hard on this deal today. Alright, you guys are probably getting the audio, however, I'm not. So, let's see. Let's try a couple different things. That probably blasted your audio with that one. Huh. Alright, I'll give you guys audio and then hopefully you have audio. I know you can hear me. Not sure what you're going to be able to hear from the sim, but that's alright. Let's get this power back down a little bit. About 52. Stop climbing for just a minute. Gonna head this way. We've got about 25 miles, not too far, to our first stop, which is KTNT. It is Dade Collier training and transition. I think it's a firefighting station out here, or a park ranger station. I'm not sure. I did look at the remarks and stuff on ForeFlight. You could also use like AirNav or something like that if you needed. But it sounds like you need a permit actually to go in here in real life, which obviously we don't have, but not a problem because it's a sim. Strap on loud too, just so we're not flying quite so high. This is the Flight Sim 2024's rendition of the Everglades. And I can speak from experience, there is not much out here. We're on the edge of it, I think. Yeah, we'll see, maybe it'll show a little bit more dense, swampy area here. About 1,500 feet. That look like swamp down there. It's hard to tell. It looks kind of swampy. Looks more like just a lot of low vegetation and sandy areas with trees. But I couldn't tell you if that's supposed to be swamp. Yeah, I should dive down, try to get a closer look here. Mine doesn't like going quite that fast. Alright, we're back now. It would help if I had the flaps up, that's for sure. That is a rookie mistake, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't look too swampy to me. I'm getting a little fast again. Yeah, we're about 500. We should be able to see more of a watery look to this in this area, I would think. That's alright. It's still pretty I wonder if that's supposed to be ground. And like these like little sandy patches, if that's supposed to be the water. Yeah. I guess there's all kinds of stuff out here. Caiman, gators, snakes that you definitely wouldn't want to play with. I wouldn't be spending much time out here on purpose, I'll tell you that. Try to run this thing around 4,800 RPM. Kind of see what sort of speed we get out of that. We'll climb back up to about 1,000 feet before I level back off. Ooh, sorry guys, kind of late. It's 9 o'clock here where I'm at today. I got up quite early for some travel this morning. So, but yeah, I wanted to get a quick flight in before we got going. Super low fuel pressure. That's interesting. There a fuel pumps on? Interesting. Was that on yesterday when I was flying this? Let's see, I shut the fuel pump off. It didn't do anything. Fuel's on. Yeah, that's interesting. Turn the fuel pump back on. That's all there is for fuel, so not sure what's going on there, but it's flying. And all right, so real life. Let's say we did have low fuel pressure like that over the blades like this. I'd be probably trying to get to my destination, not messing around, getting a landing in, and talking to some maintenance and seeing if I can't figure out why we're not building fuel pressure, because I definitely wouldn't want to be out here and lose fuel to the engine. This does not look like an ideal place to crash. That said, there's a road, and a road is something. So that'll get us somewhere. Looks like up here is our airport we're gonna go land at. This is the uh, training airport. Not don't know much about it. KTNT. So we're gonna go check it out. It's pretty rural. It's just located out in the middle of the Everglades, basically. And yeah, not much to look at, but for miles out here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do a touch and go. Start recording here. Do touch and go for fun, man. That is a long runway. Reading through the comments, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but this was supposed to be the longest at one point, according to this comment. This was supposed to be the longest runway in the U.S. So obviously, some of the trees are populating in odd spots here. So I'm gonna try to land right where that open area is. Man, that looks rough. Maybe I'll land the last third of the runway, right over top of those trees, and we'll roll out to the end. Let's see how this goes. If it looks rough, we'll cancel it here. Alright, so we're pulling down some power. We're at 2,000 feet, so we've got plenty of altitude to lose. I wasn't planning ahead very well. That runway looks maybe east-westish. Maybe a 10. I guess I could look it up. Is a 927, so perfectly east-west. Go ahead and turn base. We got a long final to where I want to touch down, so turn our base. There's about 90 degrees, headed straight south. All right, runway in sight. Doing about 60. Probably introduce a little power back in. We're less than 1,000 feet. About 65 and about 500 feet per minute descent. I think we'll have it. So yeah, we're just gonna land on the last third of that runway because it's looking the way it populated in. It just painted the color of the runway right on the hill, which does not look horribly smooth. So let's just get past here. We'll land right over top of those trees about 2/3 of the way down and stop on the other side. Don't have any flaps in yet. Definitely got lower faster than I needed to. That seems like a good place. We got 1 notch of flaps in. Bring a little more power out. Like one of those trees about 55. Alright, clipping the tops of them. Alright, let's come on down. Still looks pretty rough, but we'll go ahead and land it. Alright, not bad. There's a giant boulder sitting there in the middle of it, so that's pretty nice. But not bad for distance. It was pretty rough. Let's go ahead and bring up to where we're at 1 notch of flaps. And let's go take off. About 40, we should be able to take off. Pop the flaps up. We're on our way. Alright, guys, I don't know what that looks like in real life. That is a rough runway. Unless. Is that a road? I was like, maybe I landed in the wrong spot. That would be pretty interesting. But this looks like a road to me. Yeah, that's definitely a road. Like, yeah, maybe I landed in the wrong place. But no, yeah, that was the right runway right there. So it's usable. We got in there with the Kitfox, so it was kind of a fun little adventure. All right, from here we're gonna zip up to another airport, or zip over to. Let's see, we're going to just a couple miles away. Oasis Ranger Station. So this is a ranger station. It's a government whoops runway, restricted category, so real life, gotta have special permission to get in. That's what I love about this. Not real life, so we can go check it out. So zip over there. We've got about 7 miles, it looks like, over there. Let me go ahead and shut my recording, save. Always gotta remember to save this, because then if I don't, then I can't go back and replay them, which I like to do after the streams to grab little clips and stuff of my flight. So. I need to assign like a hotkey to start and stop and save, so I don't have to pop that open each time. But I guess traveling along here, I don't have a lot of better things to do. So. All right. Anyway, we're heading over to Ranger Station in the Everglades. We're gonna go give it a check out. It's restricted government airport, so it's kind of fun that we can use the flight sim to zip over there and check it out. So we're in the South Florida Everglades, doing about a 1 hour leg. We took off from Homestead and we're zipping over to San Marcos Island, just south of Naples, where we will end our flight. We're going to stop at a few small backcountry strips on the way out in the middle of Everglades between Homestead and Naples. So a little water out here. We're flying the Kitfox STI, the low and slow variant. So we're not going very fast. We're doing about 84 knots, which is just under 100 miles an hour. We've got the air streaks on it and the multicam. I think looks fantastic. We're not using autopilot. We're hand flying everything, and I'm using a Xbox controller to do the whole flight. So I have probably 150 or so hours on the Xbox controller, and honestly, it's remarkable. I don't really miss joystick. I could fly on the Xbox controller all day. It doesn't bother me at all. You have great rudder control, which joystick, unless you buy rudders, the joystick rudder control I think is awful. Um, so I just enjoy flying with a controller, and then I travel for a living, so easy to pack an Xbox controller, and it's very difficult to pack a joystick and throttle quadrant and all that. So I've just got my laptop and controller, and here we are. If you guys are curious, you want to see me fly some real airplanes, I do that pretty regularly. If you get the QR code up here, it will take you to all my socials. In the link below the video, I should have a link to my link tree that will have a bunch of my socials as well. I'm adding more to it all the time, but this should easily get you started. If you have any questions, just comment below. If you want to see more videos like this and requests of things to do, right now my plan is I started 2 or 3, 4 or 5, I don't know, a few days ago, going from Key West and my goal is to just do 1 hour legs finding backcountry airports and then end up in the Northwest Seattle area probably. And yeah, we'll make a whole series out of it. Every couple days, I'll try to hop on here and keep things going. So. Now we're going to do quick landing here. This should be the Oasis Ranger Station. I hope. Man, this seems. Am I lost? Am I actually lost in this game right now? Because I think this is the training in transition with the longest runway. Did I go to the Ranger Station first? No, because I've been going west. Just, this doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's get a quick landing in here. This is what I was expecting the first time. There's runway 9. It's got it written right on there. And again, another one I didn't record. That's alright. Let's start recording for the takeoff. Alright, let's get this takeoff rolling. Let's try to figure out where we are. And I am more than confused right now. This place looks awesome. Look at all this concrete. Now, this is training in transition. This is the TNT. Where the heck was I before this? I gotta look up where I'm going. Ooh, that was close. Alright. That's crazy. Okay. Where in the world was I before this? Did I just assume that there was another place to be? And then just zipped over here? Alright. Man, okay. I'm having crazy deja vu. I have no idea what that was about. Alright, let's move on. I don't, man, I almost want to fly back there and find out what it was, where we were, but I'm not 100% sure I can find it again. I've got my navigation set up to take us. Let's see. I bet. Does this show a track of where we've been? It does not. I know you guys won't be able to see it, but I can on Volanta. And I was at a place called Muskogee, which I don't think is an airport. Maybe it is on Flight Sim. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. I found it on. I need to definitely watch where I'm going. I found it on a aerial map here, and it is a not labeled on a sectional map. And Flight Sim's pretty well known for having certain things on it that are not uh, on the sectional map. So yeah. Anyway, we were at a place called Muskogee Indian Village, and it looks like it has what I thought was a runway. Possibly is a runway, but it's just a giant gravel bed, and I'm not sure what the point of it is. So yeah, there's a little Native American village of some kind. So interesting. Yeah, man, that's embarrassing that I got that lost, and I thought I was in one place, but I was in another. All right, let's take a look here. We got a couple miles to go to our next point, which, golly, I'm over speeding this engine, or not the engine, the airframe. All right, yeah, right up here is going to be a ranger station. Should have a gravel runway we can go zip into. If I look at it on an aerial map, so it's right on north-south on that lake. So let's get back into view here. We know where the lake is. Let's get some power. We've got about 1,000 feet. We're gonna try to make it a little downwind here. Just dogleg it in. Oh yeah, we got some altitude to drop. All right, we got engine idle. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. All right, we'll just make a little circle, do a little 360 orbit to lose some altitude. Get slowed down. All right, we should be coming up on a nice final now. Let's get some flaps in. All right, and yeah, I definitely need like a little. All right, power's idle. Carrying a little speed. Nice thing about the Kitfox, it stops pretty good without tipping over. All right, here we are. This is the ranger station. What did I do? Did I stop the recording? Is that what I did? I was already recording? All right, play. Oh yeah, it hates that. Oh, I had all of this. All right, we're gonna save that because I had to take off, but I stopped recording for the landing. All right. All right, let this all come back in. We will stop, start a new recording for the takeoff. Oh no, I got the other place. Oh boy. All right, this tool is really handy And also, really annoying. Let's load, not that one, back. Load our most recent one. And record. Whoa. Alright, we're going to come in for a nice landing. By nice landing, I meant a landing. We went ahead and got that one recorded. Alright, guys, we got a landing in. Not center line, way too fast and way too long. But plenty of runway. Let's go ahead and close this. Give her a good takeoff. See kind of if we can get good performance on this. I'm out at like 40. Oh yeah, we are way off the ground. Get the flaps retracted. Go ahead and go over to our next spot. Just FA80. Golly, every time I look down. Alright, let's get the power out here. Well, let's get trimmed up, power out before I start looking around. Go ahead and actually stop that recording and save it. Let's see, we've got 5 miles to the next spot. Shouldn't take us too long to get over there. This one is FA80, and it's called Lost Horn Ranch. And looking at it, it might be treed in pretty good. I don't know if it's still real active. It says the runway is 2,100 feet grass, and it's got runways 1, 2, and 3, 0. Alright, I got about 3 miles to go. Almost there. Alright, coming up about a mile out. Let's see if we can't spot it. I think it's that spot right there in the middle of the screen. Kind of point at it. Yeah, I think this engine backed off to at least 40 something. Yeah, this looks like it might be it. Well, if that's it, sure looks rough and grown in. And I'm gonna think we're not landing here, guys. There's a couple of ranches over here. We might go try to find another one. Yeah, I don't think this one's for us today. It looks like rocks and just piled dirt and trees and a whole bunch of junk I don't want to get into. Of course, it looks flat. This looks like the texture, but like I said, we're gonna stay out of there. Let's zip over. There's one like right over here to the east, I think. Northeast-ish. Not too far away. We'll go try. There you go, 74. Found it on the little directional gyro up here. We'll go see what that one looks like, and if, it's not a good place to land, then we'll just zip over to, San Marcos Island. But let's see. Somewhere in all this, man, is it registered airstrips? And hey, look, that's some deep backcountry junk, is what that is. Alright, guys, I don't think. Do you see anywhere that looks like a definitely defined runway? I don't. I see kind of some paths through some open field, but I definitely don't see a defined runway, so I think we're going to stay out of there. But let's look at, what's this? This isn't even marked on the map. Let's go see what this is over here. We'll get low. Power's idle. Let's get a nice slip in. Try to loosen out too quickly. Yeah, it looks like a nice little place to touch down. Is that the place that it meant? Yeah, we'll definitely land here. Okay. This is our direction most into the wind. Go ahead and make a left turn here. It looks like a 1230, which is kind of what we were looking for. So 1, 2. There's a kind of a crosswind. Let's turn it downwind here. Stop climbing. Get some power out. Stop descending. Alright, let's get a lot of power out. It's kind of hard to judge where it's supposed to be. Alright, let's get some flaps in. Get centered up. Yeah, this looks like a fun place to stop. Power's idle. And then over the trees. A little fast. That's alright. We'll make it work. We got plenty of runway here. Not my smoothest landing. Also didn't have it recording. Worst things have happened. Start recording now. Let's get a quick little taxi back in. The Kitfox in this game is not turning as tight as it should. It should just turn on a dime, but it doesn't. It's a fun view. Alright. Get this thing turned around. At the end of the runway. Alright, flaps are out. And that was a fun landing. Yeah, that spot's not even marked on here. That's just like an unregistered runway. I'm gonna try to find that on a map later and see if I can't remember it. That's a fun little hidden spot there. And what surprises me is if it's not registered as an airport on the game, I'm really surprised that it wasn't populated full of trees, because that's pretty popular for 2024. So it just populates anything full of trees all the time. So let's get a fresh direct in here to our airport. We'll do that in a second. Let's back this power off. We'll kind of give her the nuts, try to get to where we're going, call it a night, guys. Alright. Climbing pretty good. Direct to enter, activate. Alright. Man, that was fun. It was fun finding that, just doing some exploring out here and finding that spot that we thought was going to be a great spot to land. We didn't, but we find kind of a hidden gem out there. So I'm going to look at Google Maps when this is over, and we will get a better idea of what's going on. We still got low fuel pressure. I see it down there, but airplane's not having any trouble holding its own, so no engine roughness. Of course, who knows how accurate that is, but yeah, seems to be flying okay. Yeah, we got about 31 miles. Fun. Let's see. Somewhere out there between F80 and F74. Huh? All right. Reamer Romore Ranch Airport. And we landed, okay, FA74, which is where we ended up landing, is called Raymore Ranch. Though the spot on the map doesn't quite correlate where it's at in real life. So I looked at, yeah, I just had ForeFlight overlaid with a map, and I found it, and it said it was called Raymer Ranch, and so I just correlated that with the uh, where it was at on the map on a sectional, and it was just off just a little bit. So, but it's fun to know that we found it. It's out there somewhere. So. 28 miles to go, guys. We'll do a final landing at MKY San Marcos, which is a little golf resort, and we'll find a place to park and call it a night. So if you're sitting here enjoying it, thanks for joining. Let me know. No, excuse me. Let me know if there's other things I can do for you, what you want to see. Like I said, we're starting from Key West, planning on going up to. We started in Key West a few days ago. This is like 4. We worked our way up through the Florida Keys. We're just south of. We're in the Everglades, South Florida, and we'll end up just south of Naples. At San Marcos Island or San Marcos. I don't know if it's an island or not. Always island flows. But anyway, I'd like to end up in the Northwest Seattle area, one leg at a time, doing about an hour leg, just for time's sake. Nobody wants to sit here. I'm not one to sit here and just watch an airplane cruise for 3.5 hours at a time. So we'll just do hour legs. I'm always gonna be trying to find like small backcountry airports to zip into, and we're gonna try to do it in live weather. As you can see here, we've got some live weather situation going on. Wow, look at that. I've been flying this for a little while and I haven't seen a rainbow yet. I'm actually gonna. The screenshot button's not working. Yeah, let's see. Can I just get a screenshot? Oh yeah, I forgot it does that sometimes. I think there's a screenshot button. Oh, no. I know I'm recording the old-fashioned way, so let's see if we can't get some neato shots. We'll just have to grab them from the video later. Is that a double rainbow? Who figured the physics out on that to like make that show up? That's pretty flippin' cool. Double rainbow! I can't believe it. Double rainbow. Alright, guys. Oh, we're nearing the end here. I'm exhausted. It has been a long day. I've been up since 5:30. And it is not quite 10. So I don't know why I'm so tired, but I am. I'm a little hungry. I gotta find a snack before bed. Get this thing landed. Call it a night. That's pretty cool though. I'm impressed that it threw the rainbows in. Like, it could have not had those, and I would never have thought about it. But the fact that it put them in, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool and impressive. So this is live weather, not live time of day. Obviously, it would be very dark in Florida right about now. Um, so I have live weather turned on. I moved the time of day back to about morning, not about morning, right at sunrise. We took off out of Homestead, X51, which is the small Homestead airport, and yeah, we decided to fly it over to San Marcos and stop at a couple very little known strips in the Everglades. And one was not even a real strip. I was confused about where I was. I'm embarrassed, but that's what you get. So it was interesting. And this is 20 miles, but I see this coming up on the map there. MKY. Let's do a fresh direct here and see what it says. I think we're there, guys. I don't think we have that far. Yeah, it's giving me a new direct. Let's oh, that's X01. Okay. So we're south quite a ways. We're just pointed kind of the wrong direction. We'll kind of come up over the coast here. That'll be fun. Yeah, I know. I'm having problems with trusting my navigational equipment. But yeah, we got about 20 miles, so we'll call it a night. Headed to San Marcos here. We got live weather on. Yeah, not showing the rainbows anymore. They did have some rainbows out there, which was pretty impressive for Microsoft Flight Sim, but that looks like a little rain, a little Virga coming off the clouds. Looks like there's a little airport over there. Maybe behind us just a little bit. I think there was one tucked in over here that we missed. Whatever that is. I think it was right over there. So, um, but we've gone on quite a while, so we're trying to get to San Marcos just to call it a night. So anyway, if you're enjoying this, just say hi. Say hi down below so I know that you're paying attention, watching. You'll be my first comment ever if you do it, honestly. So I'm gonna keep trying to do this every couple of nights, do an hour leg. Oh, there's your rainbow. Look at that. Isn't that cool that they put that in there? I think that's badass. And it looks pretty good. Like it looks like the physics of it look like realistic, like that's where it would be. We've got a little sun coming through. Oh, look, there's another little rainbow over here. And I wonder if it's perfect enough to where like that's supposed to, like if you could see the whole thing, if it would complete it. I don't know. Not actually sure how rainbows work. Honest, well, something about light refracting off the water and prisms and stuff, but I don't know much more than that. So we're not actually getting any precip on the window yet, I don't think, but they're kind of flying right through the precipitation here. Coming up on the west coast of Florida, this is the Gulf of America out here. And we're going to come over to San Marcos up here. Got just a few miles left. Looks like about 17 miles. Probably helps if I point the airplane in the right actual direction. Yeah, it's kind of a cool little town. A little baseball field, town square, little airport right off our left wing out there. I might have to check that out in real life sometime. That looks like a neat place to be. Yeah, see the airport, guys? It's right here. That would be kind of a fun place to try to visit in real life. If you want to see some of the adventures I've been on in real airplanes, the QR code will get you to my link tree with some of my socials. And but also there should be a link in the description to get to my link tree for my socials. So you'll see my Instagram there, um, my Facebook page that I have, and we'll show you some of the adventures. I fly a lot of tailwheel antique airplanes. I do a little bit of backcountry airplane camping and things like that. So if that's something you guys are interested in checking out, go ahead and give them a quick follow. And yeah. All right, 15 miles, guys. We're almost there. Yeah, I realize we have low fuel pressure. I think it's a glitch in the plane because I've messed with the fuel pumps quite a bit, and they don't seem to help. So I'm thinking, yeah, but the plane hasn't died, so it's still been flying. Now we're getting through some rain. It looks okay. It looks like it's kind of coming in through the windshield a little bit, which obviously isn't what's happening. But yeah, that's not too bad. That's what flying through light rain looks like, kind of in real life. The visibility drops a little bit, and you seeing water on the windshield. I'm impressed. Like when this game works, it looks really good. When it doesn't work, it's frustrating. A lot of little things. Uh, I've tweaked some settings. I think I've got it pretty well set where I like. But if you have questions about that, just ask. But the big one is if you're doing a lot of low and slow flying, photogrammetry has to be off. And when you first turn it off, if you're flying in the same places, you're not going to notice that it's off because you've already cached. Because the way it works is it saves a cache of certain areas. So it's going to be the same until you've flown enough to come back and it needs to reload it from the internet. I can't figure out a way to change it. You just have to fly a bunch and then come back later. But yeah, if you're doing the low and slow, photogrammetry has to be off. Um, yeah, that's just a big one. I spent 2 or 3 days just fighting with that, trying to get this one airport that just looked horrible. And I eventually uh, figured out that it was because the photogrammetry was on. Thanks to Reddit a little bit, honestly. Um, start playing this more this way. Let's go look at our movie map. Make sure we're like going the right direction. Yeah, see, there's our course. We're headed towards our course now. All right, we'll put us in a little bit of a descent. We'll fix that. Um, yeah, if you guys are wondering, I'm not flying. I'm flying this on a laptop, and I'm not flying with any no HOTAS, no joysticks, no yoke, no throttle quadrant. I'm using 100% Xbox controller. I have probably 150 simulator hours on an Xbox controller. I travel for a living, so I'm constantly on the road, and it works fantastic. Anybody who says that flying with a controller sucks and is not realistic, yeah, it probably takes some of the immersion out of it, but I mean, I still enjoy it immensely and feel like I'm flying a real airplane. So, and that's coming from somebody who does a reasonable amount of real airplane flying. So, um, yeah, I definitely suggest if you're on a budget, you want to get into flight sim, Xbox works just fine. I'm doing almost all of this with just what's built into the game. I'm using the in-game tablet, the in-game navigation. Um, so I'm not really using much else. I'm using Volanta, which is a third-party app on the PC, just to give you guys the little bar. I don't know where it's at up here, but the little bar up here that tells you. I'm sure it's like way over here, but anyway, it tells you where I'm going and my speed and stuff like that. But outside of that, I'm not using. I'm using ForeFlight on my phone, which is not connected, so it doesn't tell me where I'm at over the map display. But it is. But it is like I use it for the research. But if you don't have ForeFlight, like and you, that's fine. No, but you don't need ForeFlight. You can use Sky Vector, AirNav, and I know that there's a couple ones built specifically for simulators out there. I don't know how to use them. I don't know what they are. I've seen them before. Um, but yeah, you for navigation, the in-game navigation on 2024 is fantastic. It works fairly well for a sim. And yeah, so the iPad, if you guys haven't seen that, if you don't know this game very well, the iPad looks like this. Um, just use my mouse to zoom in here. You can do it all with the controller. That is the only like real advantage to the PC is having the mouse and the controller at the same time. So that's where we're going, MKY. I would normally have a line there, but I've kind of messed with some of this stuff and it's not really working. But yeah, we're going to MKY, and yeah, this is what it looks like. You can do your flight plan. You can put the airport you started with, your route and fixes here, and your destination airport, which is not in there. Let's put it in there just for giggles and stuff. And then hit send route to avionics. And it's not really working, which is okay. Let's see if it says a file flight plan with ATC. Yeah. Because it's actually, I know why, because I'm not on that course. I've flown kind of off course a ways. But yeah, now if you look at this map, see there's the course we're supposed to be on. Um, anyway, that's, you can use it. It works fairly well. It gives you weather and fuel, and it's pretty extensive, honestly, for flight sim. I was impressed. It's not quite as good as like what ForeFlight would be. Actually, it's nowhere near what ForeFlight would be. If you guys don't know, ForeFlight's a app that you use in like 90, I would say 95% of pilots use for anything from general airline or general aviation all the way up to the airlines. Airlines use it, and I use it in my job every day. So I have it on my phone and my tablet, my iPad. So um, I prefer that. And you can overlay this game onto ForeFlight, which is a pretty neat feature. However, I'm constantly on hotel internet, and I haven't figured out a good way to make it work. So that's why we're just here using the in-game navigation. But like going back to what I was saying, Xbox. If you wanted to get in flight sim, Xbox controller, there's a ton you can do with just that. And with career mode built in now, that's just it's game changer and a ton of fun. All right, let's see. Are we getting close? So there's where we are. There's where we're going. Oopsie. And helps if I don't bump buttons here. We got 4 miles. So yeah, we're almost there, guys. We're gonna go ahead and land, park. I'll show you. We can actually, real quick, I'll show you. We'll pop the tent out, which is kind of a fun little feature. And look at this. I've been flying with. Oh. Anyway, which is a fun feature. You can set up your tent and your camp, kind of take some, pictures and stuff. So it's kind of fun to do. 3.5 miles, guys. I'll be honest. I am ready to call it a night. In fact, we're gonna punch it here for the last couple of miles. Try to get this done. Not that 10 knots is gonna make that big a difference in a couple of miles. But at the airport there. There she is. Double check, make sure we're going to the right place, because I think so. Yeah, that's where we're gonna land. MKY. Alright, let's go get that power brought out. Our level off to slow down. Alright, there's a notch of flaps. So you can point the nose down a little bit again. Alright, we're centered up. Going in for a landing. Could be a touch of crosswind if there's any wind at all out here. Alright, flaps are full. And yeah, it looks like there's a crosswind off the right. Or it's inlet. It's hard to tell in this thing. Power's out. And I was not recording, dang it. Oh, I have the parking brake set. Oh, I'm lucky we didn't crash. Sure stopped fast though. Alright guys, this is San Marcos. Gonna go ahead and taxi up here. I'm just gonna go ahead and taxi all the way to the end of the runway to parking. Give her a quick park and we're gonna call it a night. Let's double check. I doubt I was recording. Yeah, I wasn't. That's alright. Nice long runway here. I think it's only. I was thinking it was only 5,000 feet. Maybe it was longer. It seems way longer. Right? Yeah. Slows down fast. Alright, here we are. There's gas pumps here. Stop and fuel, but go ahead and park in the grass over here so we can send our TED up real quick and call it a night. Yeah. You know, guys, I'm going to call this good tonight. And we'll go ahead and shut her down. Get strobe, landing, wigwags, nav, master panel. Oh, that's not what we want. Shut the fuel off. Master, avionics master. And let's pop out the tent real quick. I can remember how. Maybe it won't let me here because I'm too close to the concrete. That's alright. It's gonna be a thing for another day at this point. So there's I never noticed this. Was this? Oh yeah, it's a little note for review. That's cute. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.